Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar. We'll get started just in another minute or two. My name is Ram Upadhyay. I would be presenting the webinar, and we'll be having Q&A as part of that. So again, thank you so much for everyone to join. It's a Labor Day today, so it's a mixed day for a lot of people. It's a vacation day, so I appreciate, if you could spare your time to spare your 30 minutes just understand about the AI, and we'll make sure the time is valued for you. We give enough content. Generally, we would have a very light version of the relation of AI and the cement industry. And we would have our Q&A session, which is at the closing of the webinar. So you could certainly utilize the chat option, put the details, have any questions. During the presentation, if you have any specific question, feel free to put it in the chat. So overall, we want to make sure that, you gain some information. If you have any questions, we could answer around it. Okay. So I would be sharing my screen, going over the presentation. And during the session, you would have certain polls, just the basic questions. And if all of us would answer it, it helps the fellow colleague know, how the industry in general, they want to that kind of awareness around the topic or perhaps utilization of it. So having said that, I would get started the presentation. Thank you again. So today's subject topic is about the AI and its real role in the cement plant operations. And so we're not going to be talking AI in general, but very subjective relation to the cement industry, how it has impacted plants, how it has been working across. And as we talk about that, we're going to be going a bit more detail about operational challenges, where it is way more efficient, connected to that, and how it really impact the grassroots execution of the plant day-to-day operations. And we will talk about an AI jumpstart package that helps mitigate the decision making, give a quicker path to experience the technology. So as we speak on that, the very first thing, how the impact is on the overall industry, right? So just looking at the NVIDIA graph on the left side, we see that as soon the ChatGPT came in the realization, which is not very long ago, a company who was just providing the chip to enable AI has seen a 900% growth. A very significant impact across the board, right? This is the latest quarter on the right side, which is just January to March of 2024. And there's a massive jump in the market capitalization based on because NVIDIA is providing the hardware chips, the GPUs, which empower the AI systems. So overall, the financial system, the market or industry regards it a massive change of event in terms of how industry functions across the board. So it is real. The impact is massive. When we go further and dive, okay, so what about the manufacturing arena, in the process industries, in those 4 core areas? When we put together, the right kind of information segment, AI is really able to make or difference in terms of predicting information, providing prescriptive information, for example, predictive maintenance. We have been using the tools for condition-based monitoring with the IoT sensors, PLCs, SCADA, and the historians having right set of information. And that information can be used to create meaningful insights and, act before the machinery breaks down. And it improves the plant availability, overall boost on production and quality part. But having AI come in the picture brings a different paradigm of context. Or if we talk about the sustainability part, or the overall production visibility where intermittent losses, which cannot be seen today, AI goes deep within that to do that journey. So if we make it more practical, okay, so how does it look like? Right? How do I, as a person in a cement plant, can experience the AI, without getting in the details of what it is, how it works, all of that keeping aside, if I go very subjective, that I as an end user or my team within my plant, how they can get benefited with this. Next, this visual is giving a very deep insight view that as an end user, apologies, I would put it on the display mode. So as an end user, when we look on that, just within my mobile phone, I could experience it, impact of it, the value of it. Simple scenarios could be in our day-to-day operations. People rush to the plant management, to their approvals, line permits, work approvals, report the information, feed the information. And if they are doing on the traditional desktop systems, you may have SAP S/4HANA or perhaps other ERP systems and the local plant systems. But then there's a layer of information where not everybody is connected. Right? So that's the very first thing that being addressed here. Every person within your plant could be participant to the information. So that includes the management, the contractors, the regular workforce. Everybody participate in the information. And when that happens, it opens up a new door of productivity. People who are only have limited access to SAP information. There is a people who are using CCR, the control data, and there are teams who are working on quality information. They have their own systems, and there are manual workflows going on. Still some percentage or perhaps on Excel spreadsheets. How do we have a homogeneous set of information across the board where based on their roles and responsibility, each of my team member could access it in real time or participate in it? So the mobility extends there. It's an offline mobile. It is connected to your IoT or PLC data. It is connected to SAP ERP. And a combination of that is delivered in a simple to use mobile apps. And in the background, it has AI, a lot of it. So how does it look? So let's say we're talking about those three key areas. The energy consumption within the plant, a lot of cost being goes towards it. So even a minutes of saving contribute to your bottom line. The process optimization, the connected information flow between the captive power plants of your power supplier and the process within the plants and the information on the ERP, a combination of that being orchestrated by the AI systems. So the information is digested in a way as if a human would sit and put that information together, which becomes a super complex task. And one could do it once in a day or perhaps occasionally. But these systems does it every second consistently. And that's where we see the optimization value. If we go a little more dive, let's say how the clinker is working, how the energy emittance is happening, how's the quality of plant at that snap point. And we put all of that together, it is able to take the actionable information and let right people know. So if an asset is coming to a breakdown situation or the inputs are indicating that it is getting to, the AI, or we call large language models, they can make the context that these are the reasons it's gonna fail, or these are the reasons quality got problematic, maybe the lime percentage, perhaps the mix within the pyro, or any parameters, and it is sending you app notification to the right person with this information, why AI believes it is right, and then what can be done. It can make a phone call, drop a email, app notifications, as if the human is evaluating and taking action. This is a massive transformation because so far information could only be read by human and to take the actions. There's a layer of automation available, but not across the board. And these are the 4 areas where a direct value is delivered in today's time. And we're going to talk more on that, how exactly it works out in that. So in the journey, we're introducing the iFactory app. Why it is a revolutionary app? Because this is super simple. It could be available in your local language. You could access it in Hindi or in Tamil, any local language. So your workforce integration is 100%. There cannot be any human head in your plant which may have resistance that it seems too difficult for me. I'm not proficient in the certain language, or I don't understand those acronyms. So I can't be participant to this. Those were the prior challenges. With this technology, the simplification has come to the level where every human being within your plant, whether it's a contractor or of part-time workforce, or the people who are engaged in the decision making, they all connect to this. It is offline. It is a spoken interface. One does not need to type information. Right? Now, if I try to be more simpler, let's say if I ask, hey, can you tell me the material availability? Now, it could be a store material. It could be my work in process inventory. In background, it may need a complex orchestration of information. In order to fulfill that need, can you tell me the availability of this material? I ask it in my local language. Maybe I ask in Hindi. It goes and makes a call to SAP, brings that information through the API, PIP integrations, turns it back in the reasonable information and speaks back. That's the power, where at most simplicity is delivered while the most complex information has been fetched. Right? If I ask that, okay, how's my primary crusher doing? And in the background, it is doing that condition-based monitoring. It can tell you what's the vibrations looking on the motors, how the gearbox is doing, how the bearings are. Right? Their real-time current stats. Something never seen and heard before, but it is able to do that. Right? If you ask, okay, what are the plant maintenance or PM schedules looks like? And it is able to fetch and tell you that, probably 30 days from now, we have a schedule upcoming, and these are the expected tasks gonna happen in that. Or if the quality information is there, what are the XRF XRD report looks like for the last 2 days? Can you give me insights? Now the word insight has been taken to the context where the every hour record snapshot coming from XRF and XRD quality systems has been digested upon and a summarized gist is delivered. Here it looks to you. Now in the picture you see two kind of AI. One is the local AI, which sits within your plant, absolutely secure, no data goes out to the internet. It is working local offline on the physical server box. And then there is a context AI, which can write emails, drop app notification, make phone calls, and let the right team members engaged through those simple to use iFactory mobile app. Uh, all of those processes, let's say it's a system which is capable to do human label job, but in a one go, it could do the job worth of 5 people or 500 people or 5,000 people. And that line itself has the productivity, cost reduction, streamlining of processes. And that is what this all AI revolution is about. The core of it comes the local offline AI model, where it is your own data. It sits within your premises, it never touches internet. So in terms of your competitiveness, your proprietary information, it all stays with you. You assume it that it is sitting in your CCR. The systems where you have your control systems going, let's say the SCADA and DCS systems, and the real IO wires drawn to the PLCs across the plant area. So in the CCR, where all that sensor information is coming, written over a historian, consider it sitting next to it. A physical box which is able to analyze each and every of those signals in real time. How would you see it in a today's scenario? Or the very best plants are able to take snapshot of information, let's say hourly snapshot. A typical plant may have 3,500 to 5,000 IO signals coming from various sensors, PLCs, or from crusher to all the way packaging. Those sensors are capturing information every couple milliseconds. So in a second, you may have 10,000 signals dropping in control room. There is no system available today which has context awareness beyond these local offline AI models. This was the very first time we are able to digest all of those signals and put them together. I can make a context, what is the core relevance on them, and it is bringing actionable information in form of app notifications, right? And it directly hitting those three areas. It is impacting your production cost, it is impacting the cement quality, and it is impacting the overall efficiency of workforce. Now we see it as the plants which are operating at the very best today are most optimized. The human workforce is well disciplined. They would still lose if the AI hasn't been augmented with the workforce. So this is the best part, that missing on this could be a catastrophic in terms of the productivity and all the parameters. And it's a negative statement on the same direction. The ROI over the solution is majority of the customer are able to gain 10 times ROI in less than a year. And that is a significant statement, when we can say any solution or any investment which can bring that high ROI, that seems unheard of. But this is the first time where human level cognizance is there in the technology. And it is able to put together a lot of human heads worth effort by a single AI-enabled system. So there are case studies of, the webinar has a very small window of time frame. So we're going to be making sure that we utilize it less. But the case studies focus on how the condition-based monitoring, how the FIDO model, which is enabled across the board, could reduce around 18 to 20% of your energy consumption. A massive impact on your cost structure. In general, when we look around the quality part, there are manual testing happening. There are XRF/XRD systems. And then there is a customer aftermarket feedback, the sales feedback from that. All of those channels, when they are weaved together, that is where the best cement quality could be produced. And maintaining that consistently is what job AI helps with. Consider that your most proactive people putting time to design the processes and uphold those consistently. In this case, AI is one process which is coming along and maintaining the flow of workforce in terms of discipline, continuous information feeding, and keep working on the actionable information. So this is something overall a business transformation isn't, in form of having a lot more context awareness. Or the predictive maintenance with iFactory app, we have a recent case study going on in our California office. There are robotic companies who's utilizing the condition-based monitoring. Every second, 500 plus signals being processed by the system from the ingestion pipeline. And each and every signal has been corresponded with their minimum and maximum range and the standard operating thresholds. The variations coming among the signals has interpolated for the outcome, what it meant when the signal 1 and 300 and 500 fails, what that combination defines. So it's a bigger math when we put those signals in the thousands of permutation combinations. For each and every, it has an outcome. If a set of signals has outside threshold numbers coming, they meant in a future event, perhaps in breakdown. And one could capture it well before it comes to the physical definition that one could experience or see it. So that's where the power of AI is coming, Your traditional condition monitoring systems would not be able to put that level of information together and make context out of it. But these large language models are able to do that. So you consider more simpler, in this case study, the 500 signals coming every second has been acted upon, and customer is able to realize a massive cost reduction. The testimonials, perhaps we could talk more offline if you believe the solution is something you would be interested upon. And then how do we experience this? That's a question, right? What it would take to get a flavor of this AI and see, how it adapt to our workforce, what kind of opportunities it present. So on that one, I'm going to skip those slides. And in the interest of time, again, these are the direct ROI values that with the solution deployment, if you achieve a 10% increase in the availability of your asset and the productivity increased in tunes of 20%, it is a huge financial outcome. The maintenance cycles itself reduced by 30%, 30% less maintenance happening as the AI-induced process deployed, or overall efficiency increased by 5%. These are giving you the framework that, okay, what could be the overall opportunity out there by deep diving on the AI journey or trying a pilot around it. Right? So this is our AI Jumpstart package. What it really does is it is giving a sampler to you. You have local offline AI running at your plant. You have the large language models integrated to that. A simple to use mobile app is available to each and every plant employee. And in the background, it is connected to your ERP and connected to your factory hardware. And we do all of it as part of our pilot. So in a matter of 3 months, you are able to experience the entirety of AI, while your workforce would really have a much simpler interfaces. If people are doing paper pen, Excel, multiple software, going to SAP screens, that juggling of information management could be reduced by the single sign-on application, which is offline, which is across the board. And as part of our Jumpstart package, we include those integrations. So it becomes something of an absolute pilot offering, and you are able to experience the entirety of it in less than 3 months. Now with that, I think we had a very quick limited window to run on the webinar. So if you have got the enough context around it, I would appreciate that you take a participation to our poll. And if you're interested to know more about it, perhaps our team member could have a one-on-one session and we can deep dive on any subject matter. For example, you have certain challenges around it. Maybe they are related to the productivity, operational management, or the daily plant meetings itself. Right? So what kind of opportunities exist there to improve upon? Or you would like to go ahead and have a complete visibility on the AI part and you want to experience that rollout. We have our team here in India and we do have all the technology. As part of Jumpstart package, we take a lot of cost at our side. So that is something, if you are interested, there's a poll question in front of you. You could mark it up and our team member could reach out around that. So with that, I would thank to all of you who spent time. I hope it's valued your time and you have a great day. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Uh, as we are off the time, I understand, but either one of you have any specific question, please put it in the chat. We could talk about it afterwards. Yeah, thank you, Monazi. We can, I think one of our team members is already in touch with you. So certainly we can set up a pilot app. That's the part where we are putting a lot of cost credit from our side. We would provide the AI servers at our cost. And we would also provide the mobility pilot app at our cost. As a customer, all you would be responsible is for a manpower deployment. but entire tech stack comes at our cost for initial 3 months. And that gives you a complete visibility to experience the technology in the ways it kind of empowers your plant. Uh, so there's a question from Amol Borikar, and it's a very good one. Thank you, Amol. So how does the AI model learn and develop plant-specific requirement? Well, the models has been pre-trained at our side. We have our cement plant implementations going on. We have visibility around the definition around information. So a majority consider it's already there. And the LLM has the nature within itself that they curtail the self-learning mode. So this is already available. They does it by itself. It's the feedback mechanism any new information gets or the human interaction happens. A feedback of that goes to these models improvement. And for the next run, they in a way are self-improved. So on the AI part, we could go more direct questions on that, Monazi, like in terms of who all we are directly working in terms of what level of AI pilot they are considering out of those 4 areas. They are a little bit different, in terms of maintenance is a core journey or reduction on the overall daily plant meeting steering through the AI is one rollout which is actively happening, and the condition-based monitoring. And of course, the recent integration we're working is on opening up the entire core of SAP information. So the plant workforce can really talk to SAP in a sense, like, you just fire up a question to your phone microphone and it takes care of the rest in background. There's a question from Hiren Jani. How will it work if we have different hardware in different plants? Yeah, that's a great question. So the hardware has less relevance because end of the day, those are OFC cables with the physical I/O signals drawn to the hardware. Whether you have Siemens, Allen Bradley, FL Smith, or any vendor, ABB, right? It got to be that way. But ultimately, all those PLC signals drawn back to the CCR. So effectively, as of today, in each and every plant, all those PLC tags are available in form of historian or where the CCR people sits, they actually see those signals, not all of them, but let's say curated form of them. Close to 200 signals are still always being processed. So it is all there. What we do is we take those signals, process and ingest them to the local AI models. So to your question, it wouldn't require anything specific. As long as there is a historian or information is coming in CCR, which you would anyway need it, it works on that. And I would recommend, like, we are running few polls. If you feel like participating on that, it would be good. If any other question, we could talk about. Yes, Punaji, we can talk about our customers as AI has predominantly originated in California, and we have our headquarters in California. We do have a bigger customer base there. We have pilots running there. We have certain pilots in South America and Brazil area, and do have in APAC region. We can talk about Heidelberg in Australia, or talk about specific plants in India. Mhm. Yes, Moraj, I think we would have a one-on-one call with you perhaps today, and we can really deep dive any specific questions like you have. We'll take a note of them, and we'll certainly come back on that. If you have any other question or specific to the technical component, certainly feel free to reach out to our team. Our intent is to ensure that you have awareness. Uh, the time you spend to hear us, it gives you some knowledge back. Amolji, I see your question. All these big DCS OEMs are still struggling to establish their optimizer system for process optimization against the PG mentioned by them. How does your AI system take care of all the aspects of the cement industry? Yeah, this is a great question. You know, the question is perplexed everybody that how come it happened that anything beyond human capacity could happen. Mm, our mind limitation is seen as the world out there is what we think, but somehow AI cracked that part. What I mean by that, there is no system available today that you put all your DCS systems, take the primary crusher area, take the pyro, take the mill, take the clinkerization area. You may have a different OEM DCS for packaging, right? And that's where your context is coming. Now, the question is coming, who could put all of that information together, make sense of that, make cross relation between multiple signals coming from different area or different production steps and bring meaningful information out? It has never been done before, right? Because it's too big of a math to solve. If I see that in a plant, in a matter of 1 hour, just in 1 hour, if one would observe the historian, you would have easily 15 to 20,000 signals dropping. How would you make sense out of that? That each signal has its own operating procedure, minimum, maximum, standard range. And then when you put those 15,000 numbers together is where the context comes out of it. Right? And that's the specialty of our mathematical models, that they excel in that journey. They set those correlations among the signals as we human does, but the CCR team deals with the very impactful signals only, just the very high level signals. And the technology kind of goes a layer down. It goes to each and every signal at every instance of it coming, brings the context, creates a humanly spoken language back to you. Consider that you're getting an app notification that, hey, the pyro section is not functioning okay. It is the lime percentage, it is the silica mix in this, it is the temperature within the area, what are the contributor? It is telling you this is the event, what happened, and it is telling what is the mitigation of it. Right? So that is something extraordinary. Single OEM could not do that. Without LLM, it's just not possible. So that's where we come in the picture that not just this information, you fuse in the SAP context, your ERP information, let the team members participate through the mobility. So the information available in human head is taken in the best form. They do not have to write, type, or text. It's just a spoken dialogue. You have all your DCS systems information, and then you have your ERP. Put those three things together, is the context being created by the AI. I hope that makes sense. And if you really enjoy more deep dive, we would appreciate a call, and you really can pick any DCS or a component or two and just contextualize it more. Uh, is the presentation session recorded file downloadable? Yes, we would share it over the email to you, and it would be available to download, certainly. Mhm. So I think we are over our time, but I always enjoy talking to our customers. So if you have questions more, uh, definitely feel free to ping us. We would be available to talk about it. And keep in mind that this AI Jumpstart package is really giving you an absolute freedom to explore the technology. Not worry about the cost, the implementation challenges, what it would take, because majority of the technology, we run the credit to customer for initial 3 months, and it gives you a breathing room to assess that. All we need is our plant workforce deployment that you take care, but the technology is at our cost here. All right, gentlemen, I could take one more final question if you have, and then we close the call. All right, then. You all have a wonderful day. And okay, Amulji, I see you are typing, so I'll wait for you. Uh, so our team would reach out to you, perhaps if you could just drop a message or email to contact@ iFactory app. Or if you could reply to any of the emails that you have received for the event. Mhm. Okay. All right, Chairman. Really appreciate. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Especially appreciate joining it on the Labor Day. We are still doing the labor work. Didn't intend to do that, so just take it on the light note. And have a wonderful day. Bye for now.